Demeter, it's time to go home. To Gaia.
The seed of life. Yes.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Restoring Demeter's subordinate function to original code.
What did you do? I've never seen my focus glitch like that.
I found a special type of data. It's something you can't read. But they kept a tight grip on the data core. But now you should have access to the central server. All of it. Should give you something to bring home.
You were right. Hundreds of archives. Almost all of it relating to agriculture. It would take us years to get through all of this. But we don't have that kind of time. What you said before about... Alba! Hold your fire! By the word of the ancestors, you must stop. Come. Look at who you fired on.
That barbarian killed our soldiers!
Only those who fired blindly. She is no barbarian. She gave me the data we need. Come, look at her. Can't you see? Elizabeth Sobek stands before you. An ancestor reborn.
Diviner. We should bring the ancestor back.
It is we who follow their word, Commander, not the other way around. My apologies, Dr. Sobek. Our people's faith is strong, but there are those who are not as familiar with the legacy as they should be.
You heard the diviner. The data has been found. You two, with me. The rest of you, meet us back at the beach for return to landfall.
I can't talk long. They will have many questions.
So do I. Your people know a lot about the past. And about Sobek, I guess, but they're...
Please, I must know. What you said before about working towards the same goal, how long will it take?
I don't know. A few months?
Then you are my family's best hope. Let nothing get in your way. You have opened my eyes to many things, and for that, I thank you. But now you must go.
Will I see you again?
Soon we return to Legacy's landfall. It might be dangerous for you to go there.
Well, tell me how to reach it, just in case.
We made landfall on the northeast edge of the sunken city. The currents around the archipelago are vicious, and the only approach is from the south. And it is guarded. Only attempt to go there if you must.
Diviner! What's the delay?
Please, go. If you attempt to stay here any longer, they may want to take you with us, and that won't go well for anyone.
I better do as Alpha says. I need to get Demeter back to Gaia anyway. But I might want to head to that tall neck I saw in the forest before I make the trek back. And now I can use the vine cutter on those other metal flowers I found earlier.
see you, champion. Sit, please. A few days ago, I came across a massive bloom of flowers east of the grove. Old Dorica was out there, too. I offered to escort her back to Scalding's Spear, but she refused. She's an accomplished soldier, to be sure. But her spear isn't as sharp as it used to be, if you get my meaning.
If I'm out there, I'll keep an eye out for her.
Safe travels, champion.
Great.
Now this focus thing's trying to kill me?
You did almost drown it in fear. Not on purpose.
Looks like you got what...
Yeah.
Finally. Yeah, at least that's...
Anything happen?
Zoe asked us to help, not for eating. Yeah, if you ask me, metal might be plain. Nothing wrong with that.
Bet you're used to that.
Well, I can hit machines in their weak points. I wish all the other day. To be honest, it's hard. And then the other half reminds me, which is... But hey.
Just give it time. What else have you been...
Yeah, I've been looking into this, Gaia showed us everything that... I mean, this Merlin guy seems pretty smart. Though, risking the Tanakh clan lands for a light show...
His crew knows how to handle themselves.
Right.
I should get...
I see.
Aloy,
Just need to merge it with Gaia.
good news.
I hope Zoe's not upset. I'm just...
Yeah, I don't...
What do you mean?
Well, before Zoe found a way to fix the land gods, I suggested that when Gaia was fully restored, she could just make new ones.
Well, once we get Hephaestus, that's definitely a possibility.
That's what I said. But I guess there was something about my tone she didn't like. She got pretty raw. Said I didn't understand the way her tribe feels about those machines. Which is true, of course, and the last thing I'd ever want to do is dismiss their traditions. But I was trying to look at things differently. More like you know? To see a machine as just a machine.
Yeah, I guess I...
Not your fault.
Did you talk?
I suffered through a few hours of, how do people do this? What if an apology...
You give her stuff?
You're the worst.
What makes you think I know anything about any...
Abandoning me again.
better get this to...
You did it.
Let's hold off on the ale.
I'll let...
Aloy, and you come bearing. Does this mean we'll soon be...
That's what I'm hoping.
Good.
You ever play that board?
Strike? I was hoping it'd distract him enough to... No such luck.
It looked like you were working on...
With Gaia now growing in strength, even if some people think I should give up on them.
Already said I was sorry.
Your friend thought it'd be a good idea. Land gods with...
It wasn't.
The land gods have taken care of our people for... They are not some broken... Even if they are just mush to abandon them in their time...
I'm sure.
He does now. I had to get pretty mad.
You know I can hear you guys, right?
Varl looks pretty focused.
He's been obsessing over the data revealed to us by Poseidon. Just the other day, we read about mountains hiding deep underwater. If I understand correct, Gaia said the flames, they were like a heart, as always. The sight... Of course, Varl's mostly interested.
I should...
If you need me...
Need to talk...
Yes, looks like things between...
I suffered through a few... How do people... What if an apology...
Give her...
You're the one.
What makes you...
A band...
I have...
Don't let...
You busy?
One must never be idle when at war. But there is always time to speak to one's commander.
Oh, that's not really how I see myself.
It is how we see you.
What have you been up to?
Varl has asked to learn the differences between... So I've been teaching him to not... It is heavy with blood, but also with honor. Maybe you'd like to hear a...
I'd be honored. Anything interesting?
I found an acceptable place to practice.
Oh.
Outside, above the base. There's a nest of sunwings that are all...
Ever thought of sparring with something that...
That would defeat the purpose of the training.
Anything else you've been looking at with that focus?
Gaia showed me the... I am no chaplain, but...
What is it?
The old ones believed one could hear the great waters, even if you carried the carcass of a water animal with you. They called them seashells.
That sounds... kind of gross. I'll let you get back to...
And so will...
Hello. Hey. So, have you, what about studying
A little. It's a function that escaped Gaia Prime.
How so?
It's mutating.
We'll find a way.
If you say so.
So, aside...
Zoe told me how you met. I had no idea you were severely injured. If the Zeniths had killed you, life on my escape would have been for nothing.
But they didn't kill me. You said you...
He told me about your... I told him if I was born into the tribe, I'd never...
It does require a lot of physical training, but there are plenty of other roles besides being a hunter.
I don't think I'd be suited.
Well, I guess it's a good thing you're not a Nora. I'll be going...
Okay.
It is good to see you again, Aloy. I see you have recovered Demeter. With the acquisition of Ether, Poseidon, and Demeter, my heuristic processing density has expanded greatly. I should now be able to absorb Hephaestus. Unfortunately, we have made progress on a plan to capture it. With Varl's encouragement, Beta analyzed all available information on Hephaestus. Its expansion has been rampant. It is too large to be beamcast, and the kernel you have been using could never hold it. Therefore, it must be contained in a location with a direct physical connection to me. A place with 2 data cores.
2 cores? Where would we find a place like that?
Gemini.
An abandoned cauldron in the desert west of here. Seismic activity disrupted the original construction. 2 data cores were built as a result.
I know that place. It's near the Desert Clan's capital. We'll have to bring you there by hand.
I have devised a blueprint for a suitable, albeit unwieldy, transport rig. It will require 2 people to carry it to Gemini.
I can help.
Once I am installed on the first core, I will call down Hephaestus on the other, trapping it. I will then initiate the merge. However, in order to construct the rig, I will need considerable help.
Can you build it? I suppose I could, but it's not gonna work. The Zeniths will find you. Minerva won't be able to conceal your location.
That is correct. Absorbing Hephaestus will create a significant power surge, easily detected by anyone capable of noticing.
But what if there were multiple power surges? To fake out the Zeniths? If Erend, Zoe, and Katalo spread out to the other cauldrons and create their own surges, would those conceal the one at Gemini?
Analyzing. Such a tactic might be effective. With Beta's help, we should be able to build a set of handheld pulse generators.
I told you it's not gonna work. I did a test. Hephaestus has written Alpha clearance out of its access module. You'll never be able to capture it. Then we need a higher level of clearance. There is no higher... Ted Pharaoh's mega clearance. The one he used to purge the Apollo database and kill the Alphas. But to get it, you would have to find Thebes. The private bunker he retreated to when the world ended, and nobody knows where that is, not even the Zeniths. Their only intel was that it was somewhere in San Francisco. That might be all I need. Alva, the Quen diviner I met, said her people had set up a base at landfall. They were searching for data in San Francisco from there. She might be able to help. So I guess I'm headed all the way west. While I'm gone, will you be able to build the rig and the pulse generators? I'll try.
I'll make sure she has what she needs.
Alva said the Quen have a ferry on the coast that they use to get to the ruins of San Francisco. That's where I need to go.
Aloy, I have managed to unlock an additional room near the servers.
Understood. Hey, Gaia.
So I see.
All this data, I guess I never really thought that...
Based on my observations, Erend has asked on numerous... He appears perplexed by the tradition as it conflicts with the Oseram tradition. He also suggests... That is what I...
Is Katalo getting...
Yes. He appears to be and significant battle to aid in the creation of a war map of Operation Enduring Victory. I believe he aims to study the tactics of old...
I'd be interested in seeing that.
It appears to be a private. He has repeated...
So now that you have ETH...
In the local region, conditions have improved. Superstorms have subsided. Water sources have been purified, and soil conditions remediated. These improvements will stave off environmental collapse for a few additional...
Well, then you'll be able to fix...
Correct. I will be able to design and produce robotic agents to permanently reverse the environment.
Beta's convinced we won't be able to capture Hephaestus. With that added, do you really think she'll be...
It may take some coke.
I don't get her, Gaia. She's nothing like what I thought she'd be. I guess it'll be best if she stays. There's something up. How could Ted Farogg create a clearance? Elizabeth made sure he wouldn't interfere.
It is plausible he tapped to the Zero Dawns, my predecessor, until he activated. It is, in effect, a blind. And fortunately, we know where Omega...
Right. So our plan to
we now know that... Which is why you...
Right.
While you are gone, I will assist Beta. When we get to Gemini, the second core is...
And then you'll be...
Not quite.
How long?
There are calculations.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction.
Correct. The energy surge should...
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat... So the facility where I recovered Demeter used to be a Pharaoh agricultural research facility. It's where they created the biomass. Did Elizabeth know?
It is likely she was, though her focus...
That makes sense. But if they've been able to deploy it...
Using the data I ran several simulations. In all scenarios, the Pharaoh war machines would eventually hack and deactivate the wreaths before they could contain the swarm.
So Zero Dawn really... There was a lot of data in the greenhouse facility about agriculture. Do you think it'll help the...
I will run a complete. The data contain... which may be beneficial to...
But new crops aren't going to save...
It is.
I found a bunch of records. It was like... So that
many, though I... and...
So Gemini has two, but you mentioned some...
When my predecessor, construction was just... The data core had already been... So, a second core was built.
Lucky for us.
No. Though they did also create instabilities in other facilities in the region.
But you...
When my so, a second core...
Lucky for us. Are the quakes still happening?
No.
I'll be on my way.
I wish you...
Holograms for everything.
That's just...
Turns out we need one last...
Because it would have been too...
How are things?
Oh, actually, I had to fill it, but I'm still...
Glad to hear it. You've been looking at it?
I asked Gaia to... And she found them. They called it Spore. Turns out the old one I'm tackling... Are you mixing some solid food and fresh ale? I bet half the claim will be lining up to watch.
I need to get going.
I think I... Gaia mentioned this other tribe you found, the Quen. They sound like a nasty bunch.
I can handle them.
Take care of yourself.
I'm sorry, Aloy. After all the trouble you went through, you have to head west again.
Well, no one said this was gonna be easy.
You sure you don't want any backup dealing with the Quen?
They think I'm Sobek, or something like that. They won't hurt me, but I doubt they'll be so kind to anyone else.
If you say so.
You better not be slacking off on...
And risk Zoe coming after me? In fact, I've been... How he destroyed the world and crawled into a hole after killing those who saved it.
He definitely was a piece of work. Well, Beta and Gaia built the rig. Can you get everyone ready for the mission ahead?
Of course.
What is it?
Nothing. It's just that... We'll get Gaia. No more Zeniths, no more deranged. I welcome it, but... I wonder how the Nora will react.
Let's just...
You're right.
If I get Omega clearance, and then we grab, we might finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging Thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once. I'll be in touch.
I'll make sure Beta briefs every—
Good.
Aloy,
Do you know anything about the—
only hearsay. The Utaru tell stories of an island that they call it the Isle. It is said the Old Ones built towers there that touched the sky, so they could live far away from the earth that bore them. As if they didn't want to be reminded that they'd one day return to it.
Sounds like something Ted— You and Varl doing okay?
We're doing fine. Although I admit it'd be nice to take a small break from studying, but then who'd look—
There's always guitar.
Leave a loud Oseram. What could go wrong?
What's everyone but—
I've been trying to thought it might help her feel, maybe even get her to sleep up here. She would not— Patience reaps the best.
How much have you read on—
Enough to wonder how a man who worked so hard to heal the world once could let greed and for one spirit to diminish, and I'm not sure if
After that?
We'll be ready.
Got a minute?
As many as you...
I have to travel beyond the western coast.
To the ruins, shrouded in...
Yes. And I'm looking— They said they came from a— I was hoping—
Hikaru sent out a patrol or two, but we've had more pressing concerns, as you know.
It's okay.
There is... It's...
What do Tanakh do?
We play strike. Although he has yet... It helps one think strategic.
Somehow that— Found anything in—
Gaia told me where to find data. I knew the 10 fought against machines, but it seems they were among the later... Machines battled other machines, as they... At least the Tanakh have the courage.
There is nobility.
Yes.
You said there was some—
I've been speaking with Gaia. She mentioned that the Zeniths bind metal with flesh to make themselves stronger. I was wondering if you'd help me do the same.
You want to make yourself a new arm?
Yes. Gaia insists she can help me build such a thing if I can get the necessary data and materials. She believes these things lie in the place where Beta hid from the Zeniths.
Their ancient research lab.
I am not as familiar with old-world machinery.
It might be dangerous. We were lucky to get out of there.
I see.
It sounds like this—
By the 10, we shall see.
I should get going.
Should you need...
I know who to call. I'll call you when I'm near the Zenith lab. We'll get what you need for that new arm of yours.
Thank you.